Hey guys, welcome back to Remove Before Race, and today is a very special day for us because we are here at the HQ of Brabus. And without wasting time, we're going to take you through a very exclusive factory tour of Brabus. We're going to show you all the individualization that you can do on the cars. We're going to show you the technical developments, their classic center, and then show you what some of the finished cars look like. But first, I got very distracted just looking over there. There's just a car park there. And it's only a car park, and it's got so much cool stuff. Let's go and have a look at that right now. Right guys, so this is just the car park, and it's like the tip of the iceberg, but that's what I want to show you because it's the first impression you get. You got rows and rows of brand new G classes waiting to be converted. You've got G800s and G700s scattered around. There's S-Class Brabus coupes around here, some with rather interesting finishes. You've got their exclusive smart editions as well here, which are very rare and very expensive cars. And you've just got other rare cars as well, like the G Loudest sitting here just randomly. Like I said, just the tip of the iceberg. The real action is back there. We're going to go and see how these cars are made, the individualization, and so much more. So let's go inside and get some really exclusive access. So guys, we're inside now. The first thing we're going to show you is exterior and interior customization. So follow me through. And here you see the philosophy. Never work for money, work for passion. She used that on RBR. So it's apt that the first car that we see is the G-Wagon, because I think the most famous one that everybody knows about are their G-Wagons, much like the 6x6 Brabus, etc. So this is the brand new G. This is the G800 that you see here. It's a finished customer car. It's finished in white. It's going to have a very interesting interior. But how do you get to this stage? That's what I want to show you first. This is a finished product. You can see it's a Widest with the wider body, etc. But let's go through the process. Let's see what's changed, what the individualization options are available for a car like this and the other cars that they do here. So let's walk this way. So interiors, let's just talk about stitching first. There's about 50 to 60 different variants of stitching available on your seats. There's like so many different ways that you can do it. You've got gradual changes in different stitch. The simple stitching you can have takes a different turn depending on what you want. There is so many options. They're all so varied. And we'll show you in a minute just how many different types of interiors you can make because of this. And every year, they're adding more and more designs as to what you can create. Now let's show you some of the process and just how handmade and how specialist the interiors are. And then you'll really appreciate just how bespoke the Brabus stuff is. And we talked about all those different stitching patterns. Now, rather than that being done by hand, they've got a special machine here which then creates the stitch as per the customer's request. And we'll show you what that looks like in the machine. Now, of course, if this was done by manual labor, it would take days and weeks and months. Instead, this does it to perfection. Then it's taken to the talented people who actually do it by hand. And let's show you what that looks like now. Just keep on. So guys, here's an example. We've got a show car being worked on here, and you can see, although the machine did part of it, the rest is being done by the very, very talented lady behind us. Now, there's so many different areas of specialization just on this tiny piece of leather. We've got different colored stitching. We've got color seeping through the perforations. All the perforations are a different size. This is incredible quality. Then you look at the final seat piece, which again, it's being done by hand. We've got really thin leather piping. We've got different types of perforation here. We've got incredibly soft leather on this side, and then that wonderful work that we showed you in the middle going through there. And that is just one seat cover. Now you think about the entire car being done, the door cards, you know, every single area of the interior, and it's being done by hand with the same passion. Where else do you see this? Nowhere.
And check this out. How awesome is it that the G900 V12 that Brabus just unveiled at the Frankfurt Motor Show was the actual interior that we got to see being made here. Check that out. More on this car very soon, but you got to see it being made behind the scenes.
Now, not all things can be covered with thick leather. Sometimes you have smaller pieces like this, which the customer still wants covered. So you can't use something with a thickness of that. So what Brabus do is they take the exact same leather, shave it down in this machine here, And it allows you then to apply it on small things like this, like window buttons and any manner of, any trim of the car that you want that exact same leather on. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now we spoke about taking every part of the interior and customizing it. Now behind us you can see trims that have been removed from a G-Wagon, and we've got a technician back there working on every single tiny bit. Now the chrome stuff, for example, can be changed into like a smoked silver like we have on this piece. We'll show you a close-up of that. But then, like I said, it goes beyond that. You can have any material you want. Look at this, for example. It's just incredible. You've got Alcantara, you've got the D stitched in there, but it goes beyond that. You can go really zany if you want. Check out this incredible steering wheel. We've got orange Alcantara, orange 12 o'clock marker as well. It's still looking absolutely OEM. In fact, probably even better than OEM. You can see the airbag here as well, which has been done in the same orange Alcantara. Of course, that's been tested, so the airbag deploys properly. You've got the Brabus logo in the headrest here. Again, orange. You can really go to town. There's no limit as to the individualization available here. Here's a good example of the individualization. Now, it's normally just a black gloss wheel, but you look inside here, look at the red detail we've got. Now, that's not vinyl, that's painted. It's painted to perfection, and what they do is they first paint the red, mask it off to perfection, and then you create this, and you can have that in any color you want, or you can have red in some other areas. We'll show you what some other wheel designs look like. This is the level of customization just on an alloy wheel. So we've got a normal G63 here. You can see standard arches, everything standard, just starting to be worked on. But as we said, we want to show you how you can individualize a car like this when it turns into a Brabus G800 Widestar. Now guys, we could not hope for a better example. This Widestar has been completely customized and individualized in every single area. I'm going to show you a few things. First of all, the color itself is not actually a standard Mercedes or AMG color. It is an Aston Martin satin metallic color. It's extremely vivid, and the way that it's been done is probably better than OEM. It's absolutely flawless, not a sign of orange peel on this car. But that's just paint. Paint can be done on anything. Let's look at the actual details here. For example, on the front, the AMG specific Panamericana grille is in the same color as the car, matching it. The B logo within that grille has got a very slight red border going all around it, and you'll see later why this car has little highlights of red around it. Of course, you've got the carbon gloss bonnet as well, but then you look beyond that and it's the little things that you notice that you can do that you would never think, like the wiper blades, again, in body color. You look at the wing mirrors as well, the bottom half of them, again, in body color. We showed you the wheels earlier, how you could customize, and this one's got a completely different design with a bit of red just on these edge parts here. Again, it's all painted. Then we look at the famous trims that these cars have, normally in gloss black or in a titanium. These, again, body colored to the customer's wishes. Even the door handles on this car, body colored. We've got the bi-turbo badge, body colored. And we spoke about the multi-spoke wheels. Again, these are finished in that same satin metallic silver as the body. Even the badges here on the rear, body colors. And if you didn't want the spare wheel, Brabus even do a cover in carbon fiber that you can replace there instead. But this car really shows you the individualization of the interior. When I said the sky was no limit, I literally meant the sky's no limit. Now, forget about taste. That's one thing. I personally quite like this. But this really shows you just how far you can go with the stitching, with the materials you can use, and how far Brabus will take that in the interior itself. So let me show you a few little examples. We've got, for example, the speaker cover. We've got the covers where you've got all your buttons in the top of the roof. Of course, all of the headlining is done in Alcantara as well. We've got the typical cover around the air vents, but instead of being in aluminium, they are in carbon fiber. Again, changing just the basic fundamental quality of the G-Wagon. We've got parts of the door trim that are painted. We've got parts that are Alcantara. We've got areas that we saw earlier being dismantled and then changed into the color of the interior. And you have to remember, these are parts that you would never get customized at OEM stage. The stitching as well, completely unique. You will never have seen this type of stitch anywhere else. Again, this side stitching that we saw in example format for the customer. It's endless. You can do whatever you want in these cars. Now, we spoke about examples of near finished cars. This one we were absolutely itching to see, and we really wanted to drive as well. Unfortunately, they sold it immediately because it is epic. It's caused a hell of a storm on social media as well, and it is, of course, the GT63S, and this is the 800 version of it. Just look how incredible this car looks. Of course, you can see the carbon fiber front end that is specific to Brabus. So aggressive, especially the lower lip and the carbon fiber design on the intakes. I absolutely adore the wheel design. It's staggered setup, unlike on my GT 4-door. So you've got 22-inch wheels on the rear and 21 on the front. It gives it a really nice staggered look like the GTR has. And then when we look at the rear, even more exciting, you've got carbon fiber aero flicks on the rear and a really, really aggressive carbon diffuser with titanium tip exhaust tips that look like shotguns. There's really no other way to explain the way they look. It's a really enticing car. I'll show you some of the interior details that are currently being customized, which is why the car is not yet complete. And it again shows you how you can individualize these cars. This one we're hoping to see again and film it and just see how crazy it is. But again, it's not a G-Wagon, but look how incredible they can take another crazy AMG and make it that much more special, that much more individual. Now, individualization is just one side of the Brabus formula, but to create something like a G800, a power tune is not enough. Brabus have thus crafted their own turbos that you can see here, right here at Bottrop, in order to produce the total output of 800 brake horsepower in this car. The engine has to be upgraded by specialists, and where you may think this is the Brabus HQ we're visiting right now, this is actually Sandown Brabus in the UK at Mercedes Guildford, trained by the guys here at Brabus to their high standards on both engine and bodywork. And these new turbos help give the 800 brake horsepower to the G. Brabus can even go crazier, like their 4 squared based on the actual G63 rather than the G500 Mercedes version. Or crazier still, like the recently unveiled G900 with the V12 based on the new G-Wagon, something AMG haven't done, making the V12 to a 9-speed for the first time. More on this model in the future. Now we've got the keys to the Maybach, and we want to show you just in terms of individualization, we've got something I've never seen before, which is checkered flag carbon fiber. Check that out. Whatever you think of it, the craftsmanship is brilliant. And again, that theme is continued on the leather itself. This leather, the way it smells, the way it feels, completely different to Mercedes or AMG leather. It's just on a completely different level. It feels like a really expensive bag. It's different, it's very textured, it's very kind of old school, and you can see a kind of, I guess it's a teal piping going through the seats as well. Very, very impressive. But let's actually see what this V12 sounds like. I'm desperate to see what this 900 is like. So let's turn it on. That sounds absolutely insane. Right guys, now we're going to head over to something very different, and that is the Brabus Classic Centre. Now this is something very different, and a lot of people assume wrongly about what this exactly is. They take an old car that needs restoration like this. This is a very extreme example. Normally the cars are of cleaner condition, and they bring it back to exactly how it left factory. No modifications, no bigger brakes, no change in gearbox or suspension, but exactly the way that it left the Mercedes-Benz factory. So this is a big difference in comparison to their modern cars, which are different and individual. These cars intend to be exactly as they were as they left factory. And now we need to show you just the level of detail in order to give it that 6 stars of Brabus Classic quality that they are so proud of. So let me show you, for example, the undercarriage of a Pagoda here. Now here we've got a fully restored Pagoda SL in a beautiful, what looks like a china blue to me. Now this car has been completely restored. If we just look just how clean the undercarriage is, forget about the rest of the car. You just see how clean the underneath of the car is. It looks brand new. Every single nut and bolt is absolutely perfect. It's the type of thing when you look at it, you can't imagine anyone actually driving it, but Brabus's classic customers do that. They actually use these cars, they're restored to completely brand new, and many of them actually drive them around. Now, the man hours that goes into making something like this so perfect is something like 2,500 in a car like this, and it increases for, say, a car like the 300 SL, given the complexity of the job involved. Guys, here is the holy grail of all things to do with the Star. Look at it, the 300 SL Gullwing. It is absolutely immaculate. It's like I've been transported back in time and I'm able to see a car that's just left the factory. There is not a single blemish on this thing. It is absolute perfection. Even the interior, it looks like no human has ever touched it. And this is the skill of Brabus Classic. It is incredible to behold. So guys, just to finish off the video, we are in a 1 of 10 G800 Black Ops. And I'll show you why it's called Black Ops. This is a very, very impressive looking G-Wagon. Again, I think it's just a cherry on top of all of this individualization that we're showing here at the factory. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And I'm glad we're in a G800 now, because the next video we're doing is in fact the G800 with Sandown Brabus back in the UK. A huge thanks to them for arranging this trip for us, and a huge thanks to Brabus Official for welcoming us here to their home and HQ in Bottrop. It's been an absolutely amazing look behind the scenes. My appreciation of the brand and the hard work that goes into making these individual cars has really skyrocketed since I've been here, and I hope you guys have caught a little glimpse of that. If you have, then I've done my job. Now, I can't wait for our G800 review, and to give you a little teaser, here's what this one sounds like. Just a little bit special. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Please do like and subscribe. We'll see you again soon.